Good evening, my lovelies. I hope everybody is well. Not normal for me to pop on a Thursday evening, but I thought I wanted to talk about this one rather than do a post. We've been focusing on a Thursday evening on sun care and safely sun tanning this month. So I just wanted to end the month though on something a little bit different and talk about vitamin D and its importance to the skin. Obviously we all know that vitamin D is something that we get when we're out in the sun. So I just wanted to talk about it. What is it? What it does? How it benefits the skin, and where we can get it from. So other than the sun. So vitamin D is interesting because it isn't just a vitamin; it's also a hormone. So it's one of the hormones in our body as well. So it has an impact in that way. So it's essential for our overall health, and it has a numerous amount of benefits. There's two types of vitamin D. There's D2 and there's D3. Now D2 is derived from plant sources and D3 is produced when the skin is exposed to the sun and also from a few animal sources. We can't get a lot of vitamin D from food. It is really sort of sun exposure that is the main one for us. And it's generally believed that D3 is the one that's more biologically active and is more readily utilised by the body. So when we get supplements from the doctors, from the health food store, they tend to be vitamin D as that has the most biological effect on us. So what does vitamin D do? Why is it one of these things that everybody says we need vitamin D, we need more vitamin D? So why is it so important? First of all, it helps with our bones. It helps the body to absorb calcium, so it gives us stronger bones and teeth. If when we get to a certain age, we start potentially having osteoporosis, that kind of thing. We start losing calcium in the body. So vitamin D will help to support that calcium. It's wonderful for our immune system. It helps us to fight infection and diseases. So for a good resistance to bugs and colds and things like that, then a vitamin D intake is a must. It's a mood enhancer. So when we're out in the sun and we're creating vitamin D in our skin, obviously out in the sun safely. If you remember back when I talked about sun care, even with a high factor of 50, you will still be getting 3% of those sun rays coming through onto your skin. So you will still be creating vitamin D while you've got a suntan lotion on. So you can create vitamin D, be out in the sun, but also be safely protected with an SPF. But it triggers our mood. We feel good. It's a mood enhancer. So who doesn't feel good when we've got a little bit of sunshine? We're out there in nature, getting the sun. It's a real good mood lifter. So skin health, as you know, this group is all about skin health. A number of benefits with skin health. First of all, vitamin D promotes healing. So if we cut ourselves, have a wound, anything like that, then a good vitamin D level in the blood will help us to heal faster. And it's also good for overall skin health. It's just a really good boost for the body. In terms of skin itself, it regulates our immune function and is also anti-inflammatory. So for conditions like acne, for psoriasis, eczema, they have done some studies and it's been shown that people with acne have lower levels of vitamin D in their bloodstream, and that when they've increased those levels, it's actually helped to bring down the inflammation and the acne. So that's one. With psoriasis and eczema, they've done studies that show that again it brings down the inflammation, and it actually can help reduce the severity of the symptoms of those two conditions. When it comes to anti-aging, again, studies have been done, and they believe it helps with the formulation of new blood vessels, and the production of collagen and elastin. And as we know, collagen and elastin are the two key proteins in our skin that help keep our skin firm and toned and gives it its nice elasticity. So by supporting with vitamin D, we are increasing the production of collagen and elastin there. And it's also, see, it's got so many benefits, it's amazing. It's also an antioxidant. So with its antioxidant properties, it's helping us fight free radicals and oxidative stress. And those two things really cause aging. So they cause lines and wrinkles, they cause sagging, puffiness, inflammation. So by taking vitamin D, we can actually help reduce those symptoms. And they are finding in studies, there's still studies taking place, there's still work to do on it to actually discover more about it, but they are actually showing that good vitamin D levels in the skin are actually slowing the aging process. So something to think about there. So where do we get vitamin D? We all know, as I've said, repeated it several times, sun exposure. That's probably the easiest way to get the skin to produce vitamin D. However, when you live in a climate like we have in the UK, sunshine is actually a bit hit and miss. So we've got lovely sunshine at the moment, so we're all getting our boost of vitamin D, and I think we can all say that we're all feeling a little bit brighter through having that. But the winter time, far less exposure to sun, so we don't produce much vitamin or as much vitamin D. So we're being told about supplementation, and yes, supplementation is the way to get your vitamin D levels up. However, it is recommended that you don't just go and willy-nilly buy a vitamin D supplement, because you know, it might still not be enough. And it also, there are certain ways to take vitamin D that might not actually help absorb in the skin, not, let me say that again, the body doesn't absorb it quite as well, it just goes into the gut. So it's actually finding the right level of vitamin D in the right formation that your body can take with. So there's sprays, there's pills, there's drops, there's all sorts of things, but it's worth actually taking a test to find out what you actually need. So you can either get that from your doctor if your doctor is open to giving you a vitamin D test, or you can actually get a vitamin D test that you can do at home. I did one of those recently, and you literally just do a pinprick on your finger, you pop 4 little drops of blood onto a little litmus paper thing, send that off, and literally within 7 days I had my results. I had recommendations on what supplementations I should take. It was brilliant. It was really quick and easy, and I didn't have to go to the doctor or anything with that. So that's worth looking up as well. Get yourself a home test, and it will give you an idea of what you need. There are a few food sources for vitamin D, but not many. Vitamin D3 is from fatty fish like mackerel and salmon. You can get it from cod liver oil, and you can also get it from egg yolks. So that's your D3. And then your D2 is more plant-based, and that is prevalent in mushrooms and yeast. So have a look at those, depending on what kind of diet. If you're a vegan, you can go with the mushrooms and the yeasty type things. If you're sort of more of a carnivorous eater, then certainly go for your fatty fish and your egg yolks. The other thing that's recommended, I've been seeing more about it recently, is about taking vitamin D with vitamin K2. Now, vitamin K2 is all about supporting calcium in the body, helping with strengthening bones, teeth, and any sort of calcium areas within the body. So by working with by combining the two, you've got the two that are really supporting calcium regulation and also cardiovascular health, because it helps to reduce calcified deposits within the sort of the circulatory system within the heart and that kind of area. So I've been, you obviously gathered, I've been reading notes, I've been making notes this afternoon on vitamin D. I know it's not skin product related, but I didn't think we could really end this summer sun month without talking about the main reason why why the sun is good for our health. So yes, the sun is good for our health, but it's also a little bit harsh on the skin. So it's finding that balance between getting the right amount of sun that gives us optimum health through giving us the vitamin D that we need, through you know, just making us feel good. It's an emotional lifter, and being emotionally healthy is just as important as being physically healthy. So we want to get a balance. We want to kind of hit both things. We want to be healthy in our body. We want to be healthy in our mind. And vitamin D is a real good supporter of both of those. Anyway, anywho, I hope that you get some beneficial information out of this little live. And it's been a little bit of change to Tropic Thursdays. But if you've got any questions, please pop them in the comments. And I will endeavour to give you some answers. If you've got anything you would like me to do in terms of face yoga, facial gua sha, if there's an area that you particularly want me to demonstrate, then I'm more than happy to do that. Love to hear your comments. I would love to sort of get the conversation going around things that you want to talk about in this group. That's what it's here for. I know that I plug in content and everything, which I thoroughly enjoy making, but I want to make it something that is what you guys want as well. So please let me know if there's anything you would like me to see, to demonstrate, if you'd like to see anything you'd like me to do, and we will get that either filmed or written about at some point. Next month, I am going to focus on menopause and how menopause affects the skin. So if that's something that you're suffering from at the moment, I know that menopause is something that I'm going through at the moment, and I was interested in how menopause actually affects the skin, so I'll be doing a few little bits and pieces around that. So again, if you've got any questions about menopause and how it's affecting the skin, then please pop them in the comments, DM me, whatever you feel comfortable with. On that note, I'm going to say goodnight and have a lovely evening, everyone. There's the last bits of the sun out there. If you've got a chance, go out and get a little bit of vitamin D, and I will see you all very soon. Bye for now.